every res and every department in the campus must have backup generators so that students can study even during load shedding. We plead with you and urge you to vote for us from the 4th to the 6th of September, to vote for the most principled and humble organization in the campus. Hoorah! Thank you.
Thank you very much, Action SA. Next up, we have EFFSC.
Amandla! Awethu! Long live the Economic Freedom Fighter Student Command. Long live! Long live the only progressive structure to ever exist in the Ga-Rankuwa campus. Long live! Amandla! Awethu! Students of Ga-Rankuwa campus, as the EFF Student Command, we are very privileged to come here and address you. We'd like to tell you that this is the only manifesto address that matters. From its own conception, the EFF Student Command seeks to deviate and fight against any dictatorship from the upper structure to the clientele of the management. Now we've already recognized that the student populace, all of us as we are in Ga-Rankuwa campus, we are the biggest clients of the university. Without us, the university and all its sectors, I'm talking to the ARLC cannot operate and make profits without the students. It is in these findings that the EFF Student Command comes here today to not just come and tickle your ears and speak about issues that have existed here at campus for years. We are here to make a stand and to declare to management that they cannot dictate how we want this service that we pay for. Students, we must remember that the EFF Student Command was the first structure and organization in Ga-Rankuwa campus to articulate and to fight against Izaga. We were the first structure in Ga-Rankuwa campus to even release a communique defying Izaga, when all of them did not even know what Izaga is. We were the first structure to declare war to the management, to tell them that it cannot be operation as normal when our students are lacking allowances. And we went to the gates and we closed it for a week. It was only the student command that was there with their radicalness to stop this madness that is going on and the corruption that is going on in NASFAS and their friends Izaga. Even now, we can stand confidently and tell you that it's only an SRC that is fully majoritized and led by the EFF Student Command that will end the corruption of NASFAS and will give salvation to the students of South Africa. Comrades, we acknowledge that as the biggest clientele of the university, there is a mediocre and poor service that we receive from these off-campus residencies and even on-campus residencies. It is impossible that a resident, a business owner, we must remember that residencies are business owners. A business owner that understands that their target market is subjected to online learning. How can you have a rest that does not have a generator? It is impossible. It cannot happen. It is where the EFF Student Command comes in to declare now that there is no business owner that is going to profit on student funds, but will give us poor and mediocre service to students. We acknowledge also, students, that the on-campus residents themselves, they are bogus. It can never happen that a resident, a kitchen door and a toilet door is aligned the same with only a 2-meter difference. That is not hygienically clean. Those residences of Legae and Gaeto are not conducive for students. Why is the management allowing them to capacitate students even now? Students, We are here to tell you that it is only the EFF Student Command that can tackle these capitalist formations that keep on abusing and stressing our student funds. We know now that Tute as an enterprise has already released a communique to state that all off-campus residences must release shuttles from 9 p.m. But even today, we are subjected to the last price of 5:30. Comrades of res managers, we do not need the 9 o'clock bus for our own social use. Your residences do not have the required equipment for us to study. Allow us to use the library and go home rest. As from tomorrow, the EFF Student Command declares that all residences of campus residences must issue the 9 o'clock bus to allow students to utilize the library until late. Comrades, we are not afraid. What we are fighting for is genuine issues, so no one can come and scare us. We know that also these rest managers, they keep exploiting us. According to the National Act of South Africa of tenant and rental, it is illegal for the owner of the business to withhold the payment of the students. What are they doing with their fundi cards? We want our fundi cards back. They must remain with us. The reason why they keep exploiting us is because they know they already have our payment. We must be strategic and we must be clear. If we receive poor service, we are not swiping that card. This will ensure that these rest managers and these rest owners give us the perfect service that we deserve, because we pay a lot of money. Comrades, with 4,000, we can go and get a very comfortable room in Pretoria Central. So it can't be that in Ga-Rankuwa, we are subjected to these poor services. The EFF Student Command also strictly fights against the campus buildings and all the architecture that is surrounding us. Even now, that building has been in construction for years, and the T from the Tshwane University of Technology has already fallen. It hasn't even been open. We are saying to the management, we cannot be subjected to poor service. We are paying for this service. We want infrastructure. We want a proper varsity life. We want to have smoking and drinking zones inside the campus. We are here, we are in an institution. This very same institution must equip us to be the best level of all of us. How are we equipped when we are only subjugated to 3 buildings here at campus? The reason why we are still doing online learning is not because of COVID. It's because the campus itself doesn't have enough buildings to substantiate us. How do they accommodate so many students if they know they don't have buildings?
Thank you, EFFSC. Time is up. Thank you. Next up, we have Pasma. Next up, we have Pasma. Thank you, EFFSC. Thank you.
Izweletho ya Afrika. Let's give them time to Hi, moral. Hi, morale. Hi, morale. Izweletho Africa. Hi, morale. Hi, discipline. Bullet. Settler. Train the woman. Train the nation. Each betrayal deserves a bullet. Ingululeko. Ngoku. My name is. My name. My name is Hodera Heze. My surname is Mashish. I'm the secretary of the Pan-African Student Movement of Azania. No, it's fine. Comrades, you know the number one student vanguard, Basma, the official mouthpiece of the students in this campus. Ours is very clear and very simple. There are many issues that have been happening in this campus. We have been quiet, student leaders have been quiet about them. Just tell me, how does it come that there's a man-made crisis called load shedding, but we're in the University of Highlanding, we don't have a backup or anything that's subjected to the entire campus. Only few buildings are the ones that are covered by that thing. Comrades, we need a backup that is going to take over all the campus, comrades. Of course, ourselves as PASMA is very simple and very straightforward. We are saying on the 4th to the 6th of September 2023, vote for PASMA for the emancipation of a black child. Ours is very clear. The dignity of a black child in this campus has been reduced to nothing. Ours is to restore the dignity of a black child. Ours is very clear, comrades. We are going to defend the black child with everything that we have in this campus. Comrades, we can't be having a student that never did accounting and other subjects that are related to economics and finance in high school. Myself in my first year, I was even a victim of that. We don't have mentors that is going to mentor all those students who doesn't know anything about accounting or economics, comrades. Comrades, ourselves, education to us means service to Africa. So we are going to make sure that a black student is always emancipated with education, comrades. Izweleto, ya Africa, yinkululeko, ngoku.
Thank you very much, PASMA. Thank you, PASMA. Up next, we've got Sadesmo. Sadesmo.
Poo-poo. Yasinalo Amanda! Amanda! Long live the spirit of Shanga, long live! Long live the spirit of Shanga, long live! Long live the spirit of Sadesmo, long live! Yeah, Pindov! Yeah, Pindov! Hey! 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 Mabenga! P! Mabenga! P! Thank you, comrades. I go by the name of Metis Kashwayo. I'm going to deliver the speech. I'm going to deliver the manifesto, which I was sent by Sates. Can we please do a moment of silence of one of our students who left us in this month by the name of Nompumelelo Michelle Mnube. Let's take our 10 second Machita. If you can able to stand up, let's stand up. Thank you. Moment of silence. Thank you. May the soul of Nompumelelo rest, continue rest in peace. Qalile iyagqilaza. SRC, the South African Democratic Student Movement, under the leadership of IFP, have been existing. Has been existing at TUT Ga-Rankuwa campus for more than 5 years, since from 2018. We are not here to make unrealistic promises that we cannot keep. We have been there for students of Ga-Rankuwa campus, fighting for them, providing solutions to their problems. We urge students of TUT to start the organization to deliver the service to them. There are certain structures that have been in powers for decades in this institution, but have never delivered the promises they keep making. But they never delivered the promises they keep making to students. It's high time students to make their fight and power to vote for the most progressive structure in terms of student and academic issue. And those structures who are busy looking them, they are there. Siyababuka nje. But it's fine, guys. So thini ngophela. As SRC, we don't promote violence, but academically, we're excellent. And we put academic excellence as our first priority. Free quality education to all students. SRC will continue to fight against gender-based violence. The ill treatment and mismanagement by tutor in accredited residents will not be tolerated. All accredited residents must have backup generators and also CCTV cameras in their corridor for safety and security. All accredited residents should have no more than one passes. And all accredited residents, the last pass from campus must be at 10 o'clock in the 10 o'clock at night. The fight against capitalization of NSFAS would continue. SRC was here during registration when there was no other one. We intend to be here for students for any other issues during terms of registration and the rest of the year. SRC is also aware of the rape cases happening. We intend to help and fight and teach our brothers that no means no. I want to say to all students of TUT Ga-Rankuwa campus that SRC will use this opportunity to serve the best interests of the student. Amanda! I also encourage the students of TUT Ga-Rankuwa campus to vote for SRC on the 4th until the 6th of September 2023. Amanda! Iyo Pinto! I'm fine.
Thank you so much, Satesmo. We have Sasko up next.
Could you adjust it lower? Asena lovalo tela. Yoha Esasko Asena lovalo tela. Ibopen makom. Ibopen makom. Ibopen makom.
Ibopeni makom, ibopeni makom, ibopeni. Viva Sasko, Sasko, viva! Viva Sasko, Sasko, viva! Pata Sasko, Sasko, pata! Uzoyithola kanjani? Uhlele khoneni. One student, one diploma, one condom, one round. At some point, comrades, we must advocate for safe sex, please. Comrades, as the South African Students Congress, SASCO, we pledge our commitment. We pledge our commitment to continuing one of our benchmark programs of SASCO, our SASCO Free Fundanati tutorials, the program that has been very effective in assisting our people, in assisting our students to pass their modules so that they in turn get their qualifications in time and in record time. Makom, SASCO's contribution to students through ensuring that the core business of the institution, which is academics, is at the forefront by providing tutorials and 24-hour consultation services. As noted, this contribution is noted with a decrease in the amount of retained students in high-risk modules. Our people are now passing Finance 1, Finance 2, Finance 3. Yeah, we see you in our tutorials as well. SASCO welcomes you. Students, the failures of the coalition-led SRC have not deterred any of SASCO's deployees from fulfilling the full powers of their offices, however limited they may be. Through the Office of the Universal Access Officer, we have had programs that sought to advocate for our minority awareness groups, with particular focus on the LGBTQI community. An added focus on our sisters and brothers who suffer from disabilities. Through the Office of the Deputy Secretary, we have had a record number of structures registered at SGLD through her office, which shows the commitment to ensure that this campus has an inclusive environment and caters for all, not only in academics, but in clubs and social and cultural activities as well. There are more churches that have been registered this year than ever before. Thank you, Deputy Secretary. Dango. Through the Office of the SACO, our Sports, Arts and Cultural Officer, we have had an uninterrupted supply of sports leagues. Forward from that, our people in aerobics have been representing South Africa at international level. Thank you, SACO. Finally, in closing with SACO, the Office of SACO has also delivered our first post-COVID Freshers Ball. Thank you, SACO. Relax, Macomb, relax. 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 Relax, Macomb. As SASCO, we continue to express our frustrations at the continued centralization of NSFAS and further call for full decentralization of NSFAS. Macomb, are you done? Are you done? This is the issue, Macomb. Are you done? Are you done? No, it's fine, Macomb. We contest elections and they contest us. Relax. Relax. We continue to advocate for student safety as student safety and security has been tested as of late. These tests have been highlighted by the failures and deficiencies of CPS. Thank you. Danko Macomb. Danke leadership. As I continue, student safety and security has been tested as of late, and these tests have been highlighted by the failures and deficiencies of CPS and our external residence security forces. This has been further accentuated by thugs in red who go around stabbing our students. That needs to be addressed. CPS is failing. Our external security forces are failing. We need new security companies to take care of our students. Tabong Lodge is a mess and a cesspool of violence. That res. That res needs to be removed, Macomb. In this academic year, SASCO has been engaging with various internal stakeholders and external stakeholders as well to develop a proper funding model, to develop a sustainable model for funding a monthly sanitary towel dispensation, to ensure that our women are not only a program that lasts in August, where there is a sanitary pad drive, but instead, they are provided with sanitary towels on a monthly basis. If condoms can be provided on a monthly basis, why can sanitary towels not be provided to our students? You are done? Thank you. We have reviewed the continuous issues that have arisen from service providers. We therefore call for a development of an institutional service shuttle that will be inclusive of our off-campus students, as they are the ones who are mostly affected by transport issues. And this service should operate until 10 o'clock on a daily basis from Monday to Monday. Further from that, as SASCO is an organization of intellectuals, an organization of cum laude, an organization where people graduate, we would like to advocate for a 24-hour operation of the library throughout the academic period and not just through the examination period. No,
EFFFC,
yeah.
his time is not up.
Dango. As SASCO, we reassert our commitment to senior students who are doing phased-out modules, that they have not been forgotten as the institution and other structures have chosen to treat them like the stepchildren of the institution. SASCO has been and will continue championing the matters of our students who are doing phased-out modules so that they can complete their qualifications and graduate and enter the working environment. In closing, SASCO has remained principled and steadfast in its commitment to students, and we encourage students not to just renew our mandate, but to further strengthen it so that there can be direction in this campus, so there can be a clear program of action that is guided by...
Thank you, SASCO. SCO, please come up. SCO.
Amandla! 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 Viva SCO, 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 viva! Viva Students Christian Organization, viva! Kunjenjenjenje kwenzuba! Kunjenjenjenje kwenzuba! Kwenzuba! Tango. Greetings to the students' populace at large and every person who made sure that the gathering came together today. Standing before you is Pastor Dimpo, all the way from the Students' Christian Organization, well known as SCO. Now, what is SCO? We are the multicultural, Christocentric, socio-political organization. So I'm going to explain all these terms, don't worry. So when we speak about the multicultural, it means that SCO, as SCO, the organization, we welcome all students from all different walks of life. Despite of your gender, despite of your tribe, everyone is welcome. SCO is home. So the other part, it is that we are Christocentric. So the Christocentric part, it speaks to us as being people who are looking up to the man called Jesus as our standard in everything that we do. So we have two constitutions. Our first constitution as the organization, it is the Bible. And our second constitution, it is our national constitution. So this is how we are governed as the organization. Now the other part, it is the socio-political. So the socio part of it, it speaks of us as the organization, not only catering for the spiritual welfare of students, but also we care for the social needs of students. Yes, so we have a ministry, a special ministry in our organization called the social ministry. So the ministry deals specifically with the social needs of students. So also what we do in this ministry, it is that we understand that not all students are getting NSFAS allowances, not all students are having bursaries. So what we do is that we share all that we have with our students. We share food, our own groceries with the students. We share our own monies with students. We share our own clothing with students so that every student who walks around the campus, we don't see that this one is funded, this one is not funded. We want everyone to be comfortable all around the campus. So we share all that we have with our students. And then the other part that we do in this ministry, it is that we understand that you are not going to be a student forever here. And you can't allow yourself only to get out of the university only carrying your diploma. There is more to life than just having a diploma or a qualification. So we make sure that we create friendly platforms in the SCO whereby we have your arts and culture, so that even people more than your intellectual capacity, you can still exercise your talent, you can still exercise your gift. So we have arts and culture whereby we can, people who are interested in drama, poetry, and all of that, we accommodate them. And we make sure that they are well skilled and they explore more in such skills. And another thing that we have in our social ministry is that we have our catering team. Also, this one, it deals specifically with food. So other people are interested to explore, food in near future. So when I came to SEO, the first department that I joined as well, it was catering. So I learned a lot in that department of catering. And then now, I'm talking about something that is currently happening now. I have my own catering business. So if you can go to the small gate there, I own a business of food, not just food, but delicious food, exclusive food. So all of these things I have learned in this organization, SCO. So the other part that I'm going to touch, it is the part of the political part. This is the part that gathered us all together here. So this political part, it speaks to us as being the leaders being in governance. Okay, noted. So the political part, it speaks to us being in governance, being in authority, being in leadership. The Bible says when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. So So we have seen a lot of students all around here feeling ashamed that they are Christians, even though they were Christians at home, thinking that if they will be part of the SCO, maybe they will be deprived of exploring leadership. Let me tell you, you see our national president, President Cyril Ramaphosa, during his times, he was part of the SCO. So we can lead and pray at the same time. Meaning that even if you get
Thank you,
out of
SCO.
the institution, you can still
Thank you, SCO. Thank you, SCO. Thank you, SCO. Next up, we have Tuta.
These people, they are brutally dealing with us. Viva Tuta, viva! Pata Tuta, pata! Ay roule, Tuta, ay roule! Au roule, mokgatlo wa kgotso le lerato ga roule! Amanda! Awe, tu! Amata! Keruna! Tuta! Forever! Dumelang sanbonani absheni. Khotsong to all, but most importantly, warm greetings to Tuta family. Dumelang. Before I begin with my manifesto today, I would like to remind most of you, I would like just to take you back, Nyana. Then we will begin with the manifesto. I want you to remember during the difficult times when you were so desperate to be in the system of TUT. Remember who helped you. Remember when you had no accommodation, who helped you. Remember when you had no support, we were there to serve ourselves. We were there to help you and genuinely support you without making you pay 1.5 and 3,000. We were there for you as students. Remember who offered the selfless services like tutor. Remember those who made your parents to pay for the courses. You know them. Remember, remind them that you know them. And lastly, please remember the fact that we're still going to meet again during the very same time, during the registration period. Remember those things. Now, Tuta, the first independent advocacy organization, is hereby making a very genuine call to all students in Ga-Rankuwa campus to say, come, let us join and vote for Tuta. Ladies and gentlemen, young and energetic people, please let us join hands and remove all these anti-progressive politicians and anti-progressive politics in our campuses or in our institution. Now, these are the following things that we want to assure you that when you vote for Tuta, we are surely going to deliver. The following are the things that we have as the intention, of which the intention is to change the status quo and transform the entire university by implementing the following. One, we believe that we must strengthen the student body. When we talk about student body that is strengthened, we are talking about the leadership that is within the masses that they are leading. We're talking about the campus that is so united that you can never even draw the line between the different political organizations. Now, we will make sure that we include all students irrespective of their political parties. This is why, or the reason why, we actually promote inclusivity amongst all. Number two, we want to see question and answer sessions. We are subjected by situation whereby SRC think they're leading their own jackets. They no longer take student populace in confidence, tell them what is it that is transpiring at that particular juncture. We want to see the leadership coming back to masses, engaging them, asking them what is it that they are going through, and at the same time, be able to deliberate to the solution at that particular time. SRC need to account through parliament. Therefore, we're going to implement or rejuvenate the power of parliament. They did it deliberately by killing student parliament. They know very well that's where only SRC account to. We need to bring back this parliament so that we can hold these SRC members who think they are leading themselves, who think they are there to actually emancipate themselves, who thinks they are there to actually lose the political head and the SRC seats to loot money. We just heard now, people are prouding themselves to say, we were able to extend races, but they know exactly that they are benefiting from those races. Now, we want to include everyone, whether they are funded or not. Through the parliament, we are going to establish the special committee that will deal with the accredited residences only. Because we know for a fact that the Constitution do not protect our SRC members when they go to these accredited residences. Therefore, it is only through the student parliament where we can actually establish such and deal with them. Now, as tutor, we are going to fight tooth and nail. We are going to make sure that Blatant Zimande implement and send agents of NSFAS in our campuses across TUT. Remember, the hard fall, politics was sent down with politics down. Forward, the independence forward. 4 to the 6th September. Please vote in numbers. Your vote, your contribution, your story. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tutsa. Thank you. Now we are coming to the question session. Can Action SA please take the podium? Thank you so much. All right, Action SA. Thank you, Tutsa. All right, Action SA, I'm gonna ask you, as agreed, we're gonna ask each structure 3 questions and you'll answer them, okay? Number 1, what is the purpose of your campaign? What does Action SA stand for? Number 2, what do you think is the best way to address the issue of Izaga? Number 3, okay, can you answer the first 2 questions for me, please, Action SA? So, number 1, what is your campaign?
Firstly, I would like to answer the second question. Firstly, I would like to answer the second question, which says that what am I going to do with the issue of Izaga? And that one is a clear and a one-statement answer, which I will say, Izaga must futech. That's all. The purpose of our campaign is that we want to gain as much power as we can so that we can help and fight for student issues as much as we can, because the one seat we had didn't give us as much power we needed to fight the student issues. So we plead with you students that vote in numbers from the 4th to the 6th of September, vote for Action SA student chapter. Hoorah.
All right, thank you. Now, your last question is, what are your stance as an organization on the current registered on, sorry. Let me try this slower. Sorry about that. So what are your stance as a structure on the current students that are registered on courses that are currently being phased out?
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, the person who should answer that question has been expelled, Mara, though I'll take his place and say, okay, I'll take his place and say, in Action SA, we also have members who are facing the same issue, and we are going to fight with all we have, that those courses must be at least be extended by 1 year, because we have comrades who have failed at least one module, and their courses are going to be phased out last year. If not, then they must be given a chance to write at least exit examination, even if they failed 2 or 3 courses. Thank you. Modules.
Thank you very much, Action. EFFSC. All right. So the questions are as follows. What is the purpose of your campaign? What is the best ways to address the issue on Izaga? And as EFFSC, on the stance of the students that are registered for courses that have been phased out.
Thank you. Viva EFF, viva. Pata fighter pata. Sayitata Ga-Rankuwa sayitata. First and foremost, on the first question, it is undeniable that as the EFF Student Command, what we stand for is free, quality, well-resourced, decolonized education. To say that when we are here, even when we campaign for Sizofunda Ngenkani, it hurts us the most to see some of our first year students going back home just because they don't have money of registration and their NSFAS is still not uploaded. So this is what we stand for, to say that all those students, they must be given inclusion into the system. And to say that even when they are here and there's ongoing academic activities, we stand to fight against any person or capitalist that comes and tries to oppress the student populace of Ga-Rankuwa campus. That is what we stand for. We stand for quality leadership. We do not compromise quality. Even when we go to the shop to buy bread, we prefer Albani over Sasko.
Number 2, the Izaga issue.
I think we are the only organization that has fully demonstrated how do you fight with capitalist formations such as Izaga. Because we know and we understand that the issue of Izaga is a genuine issue that continues to manipulate student funds. So the only way to fight it is to fight, to deny, because they've also shown us an arrogance by not wanting to caucus with us. So our only stance is that we are going to fight until it ends, it stops dispersing funds of students. We want to make even the student populace aware that these things of Izaga, they are implemented from a higher politics, from national politics. That's why we are encouraging students to register to vote so that we can fight and stop this madness of ANC in governance. Because it's ANC. Because it's the ANC, the Minister of Higher Education himself, Blade Nzimande. It's him that chooses the CEO of NSFAS. It's NSFAS CEO that chooses these bogus capitalist systems. So we must change the status quo. We must fight until we receive economic freedom in our lifetime.
Thank you. And lastly, it's the ones about courses being phased out.
Yeah, the one of course is being phased out. There are many students that we are living with here. They are our friends. What we are saying to them is that we are strictly, when we enter into office, anyone that is doing a course that is phased out and has already failed the module, you must be given a chance to write even in January exit. Special examination, because what we are advocating for is that everyone must be liberated, and the liberation starts from graduation.
Thank you very much. Basma? All right, Basma. So, number one, what is the purpose of your campaign?
Yes, well, ourselves as PASMA are very clear is to mobilize, educate, and strive for a free socialist education, and to rally all the dispossessed students under the liberatory banner of Pan-Africanism. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Second question, how would you address the issue of Izaga?
To be very honest, this thing of Izaga is a looting scheme between the Minister of Higher Education and his Indian friends. So ourselves as PASMA, who are very clear that no one is going to be a middleman between the students and their monies. So in that fashion, we are saying that Minister of Education must declare Izaga to leave, and that we can go back to our system of National Student Financial Aid Scheme. Thank you.
Thank you. Lastly, as Basma, what are your stance on the current situations of courses that have been phased out?
To be very honest, there's no one that fails on purpose. And then we know that many of our students are very marginalized and are very poor. They are working for their families. Most of the time of study, they use it to emancipate themselves and their background. Hence, most of them, they are failing. So we are pleading with the university to please extend these courses with 1 year so that all our students, they can pass and live here with a qualification and necessary skills for the corporate world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Basma. Next up, we have Sadesmo. Right, so Sadesmo, first question. What is the purpose of your campaign?
Andla! Iyo Bindov! Iyo Bindov! Xolo kaloku.
First question, what is the purpose of your campaign?
Our purpose is to empower the disadvantaged students who marginalized and affected by the corrupt system of the university. We aim to enforce policy of language and culture that will unite our students and eradicate tribalism.
Thank you. Number two, in regards to the issue of Izaga, how as Sadesmo would you address this issue?
Truly speaking, when it's come to this thing of Izaga, it's not like we don't know nothing. It's that yeah, when it's come to Izaga, we know that there's someone who relieved the secrets that he know Izaga before they told us about Izaga. And then you're born. Now, as Sadesmo, we are saying that through ISRC and SAUS, NSFAS must open a platform for students to voice their opinion when it's come to change and policies. They must involve in recommendation.
All right. Now next, we have an issue where there are students that are registered and these courses that are registered in are getting phased out. What would you do to help them?
In this one, many amen bafana. Kula makhozi la afeza out. Bafana labo. In the face out causes are different. We are asking TUT to be lenient to students and treat each case according to its merit. All those students must be offered an opportunity to write those modules and graduate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Desmo. Sasko, please come up. Sasko, what does Sasko stand for? What are your aims?
The South African Students' Congress stands for Fee Free. Macom. Dango DP. The South African Students' Congress stands for Fee-Free Decolonized Higher Education, with the hopes of removing all barriers to entry, which is what we do regularly on a year-to-year basis through our Right to Learn campaign. Further from that, we do all of this with the hopes of realizing, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal of a single coordinated higher education sector. Thank you.
Okay. As Sasko, what is the best way to address the issue of Izaga?
As SASCO, we were the first structure to release a line of march and properly educate students on the issues of Izaga, instead of just howling at students and telling them, bend, hit, fight. We gave clear, proper direction and information on what this issue is and how to deal with it properly. No, I'll continue. I'm not done with it. Can I continue with it? From the continuation of that, SASCO has always advocated from the beginning of this issue that there needs to be a reconfiguration of Izaga, a reconfiguration of the direct payment system, as SASCO is for everything that supports students, especially marginalized and black students who come from poor families, with the hopes of, when reconfiguring this system, students can have money that is accessible to them directly. Therefore, students should not have to suffer from the divorce of NSFAS and institutions of higher learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Lastly, so what are your stance on the current situation of students that are registered to courses that have been phased out?
From the beginning of this year, not even from the beginning of this year, from last year, SASCO has been advocating for an extension of phased out courses, as we understand that our brothers and sisters need to graduate at some point so that they can provide for themselves and their families, so that they can have a better future, not only for themselves, but for their families as well, so that they can be productive, contributing members of society. Therefore, it is with our SASCO Fundanati tutorials that we continue to assist our students who are facing issues of phasing out modules, so that we can assist them and prepare them for exit modules, and also petition the institution to request a further extension of the course through SAQA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sasko. Next up, we have SCO. So, question number 1. What is the purpose of your campaign?
Number 4 of our aims on the Constitution, our national constitution, it says that the national constitution of SCO, it says that we should be actively involved in issues affecting students. That's what we have been doing since the beginning of the year. So it will be a very huge disappointment if students are not gonna vote for SCO, because we have been in our academic office, we have been hosting tutorials focusing on high-risk modules. So these are modules which are forever trapping students to be, not completing their qualification. So we are saying, if you vote for us, we are going to expand hosting such tutorials for you. Yes, and as SCO is big. We don't just have that, that only department that is doing the most. If you can even check history, trace where SCO comes from. It is not on blank pages that when we occupied the office of presidency, we had remarkable leaders like President Enoch Maredi. Those people were so influential to an extent that for the first time. You see, leaders are supposed to be people who are coming with a revolution. You don't always repeat, what others have done. You have to come with something that is new. So that's what our leaders would do. Our president introduced accredited residences. President Enoch married. And then after him it was President Nati, he expanded and made sure that we have a lot of accreditation residents that you know of today. So there is more that we are aiming to do as SCO, that we even want to have, a feeding scheme for the students which I mentioned that they are not funded. So we want to make sure that we cater breakfast and lunch for
Thank
them.
you. Next question. How would you best address the issue of Izaga?
Well, the issue of Izaga is an oppression that as the organization, we are not in favor of it, and we are tired of having strikes which are not coming up with a solution. So if students are going to vote for SCO, we are going to mandate our own SRC member because we understand that the issue of Izaga, it is an institutional issue. It is an institutional issue. So we are going to deploy an ISRC deployee that we are going to mandate to say the first thing when you get into office. This is the mandate that you have to fulfill. Like we deployed our own ETO. Since he entered the office, he has done a lot in academics for students.
Thank you. Last question. There are courses being phased out in Ga-Rankuwa, and there are students that are still registered to these courses. How would you address this issue?
Well, when it comes to this one of modules which are being phased out, currently, as our deployee, Lord Wishbaloi, who is in the office of the ETO, it is his office to deal with academics. So currently he is already engaging with management regarding the issue of modules which are gonna phase out. And sooner than enough, there will be a communique that will be sent out to students to say, irregardless whether you are left with one module or more than one module, but you are going to write and complete your course. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, SCO. Last but not least, we've got Tutsa. Please come up. Question number 1. What is the purpose of your campaign? As I asked, the first question is, what is the purpose of your campaign?
Amanda, away to the purpose of our campaign as tutor is to try by all means to conscientize all students that our aims, number 1, that is academic excellence, number 2, accountability and transparency, number 3, non-racialism, number 4, gender equality, and lastly, social inclusivity. So the purpose of our campaign is to try to conscientize all students to say, come, let us join hands in order for us to be able to fight the status quo.
Thank you. What would be the best way to address the issue of Izaga?
Well, an institutional issue such as Izaga that is implemented from the colleges and universities. We are not going to try and be radical here. However, as tutor, we are going to be diplomatic. That is why you've seen us trying to mitigate, to say, yes, we agree that D-Head brought us a mess here, Izaga, that we are dealing with. Now, tutor took initiative to create a group chat that is open for everyone. That was written Izaga and NSFAS inquiries. So we are trying by all means. However, we are still going to engage with DHEAD. We are still going to fight them head to head, toe to toe, rubber bullets or no rubber bullets, tear gas or no tear gas. We are coming for them as tutor.
Thank you so much, Tutsa. Last but not least, there are current courses that have been phased out here at Ga-Rankuwa. How would you address that issue on your side?
The current students that are registered for phased out qualifications, look, there is no student who must be actually excluded, whether you're doing a phased out qualification or not. But the truth of the matter is that we are subjected to lecturers that are very much arrogant. I think they don't have this parenting heart. How do you actually set a paper for students who are doing phase-out qualification and you make it very difficult for them to pass? What are you saying up here? So as tutor, we are not only going to say it on the podium here, we are going to an extent that through Parliament, we are going to put it in written form to say we must never, in any given time, see ourselves sitting in exclusion committees discussing the phase-out qualifications. So all students who are doing phase-out qualifications must be given endless opportunities up until they pass and go. We've done that. We're not bluffing. We led before. It happened. Some of your leaders benefited. They must tell you the honest truth.
Thank you so much, Tutsa. Thank you so much, Ga-Rankuwa, for accepting us and allowing this manifesto to run through smoothly. We did have hiccups, but it went through fine. Thank you so much. And this is how we close Ga-Rankuwa Manifesto. See you guys on the 4th to the 6th for voting. There will be a kiosk around where I'll be situated. Bye. Thanks.